PT's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're here with Chris Hobzilla, Bone Crusher, and Jeffrey is on the phone. And I tell you what, guys, when you look at what's going on the Facebook page and the comments that are being made, you know, I have to read this one. It says that realistically, it's about an 8 out of 10 that Billy Napier is fired on Sunday. And that one, I'm going to give it to Andrew Maddox. He's the one that said that. So, Andrew, I agree with you, my friend. And let me give you my opinion. And Hobzilla, you can go next if that's okay. Yeah. So when you look at it, I think Billy Napier has been fired since the bye week. And the reason why I say that is because all of the insiders, Chris as well, has said that there was no recruiting going on during this time. If you look across the college landscape, you see Dan Lanning. He's over in Mobile, Alabama, recruiting from Oregon on his bye week. You look at Signetti. You look at all of these guys. You look at Kirby Smart. You look at Kalen DeBar. All these guys are out recruiting on their bye week. And you know what you did not see? You didn't see hide nor hair of Billy Napier anywhere recruiting. And you know why? Because he was already let go. They had already told him, Billy, we're trying to salvage these 5 stars that you brought in. We appreciate you, Billy. We're going to give you your buyout money. We're going to let you ride off into the sunset. We're going to give you a caravan. We're going to let you go. We're going to let you go wherever you want. We're going to do everything that we've done. We'll probably sell your house for you. We'll probably give you a brand new pair of Jordans from the Jordan collection just to let you be happy. Your children can have Jordans. Your wife can wear a pair of Jordans. All of your family can wear Jordans. We just want to let you go, but please don't tell anybody. If you tell anybody, we're going to mess up your contract. We're going to jack everything up. That's just my opinion. Chris, how do you feel about what I just said?
No, you're 100% correct. You know, they kind of gave him the Price is Right consolation prizes, you know. So, but there's something I have to keep up with so much, you know, information. Like 1 minute's the coach, the next thing you know, DJ's being contacted by other people, you know. But there is something that has something to do with the transfer portal that they're trying to get to where it locks in the players. And I think this Mississippi State does that. It hits the date to where the players are kind of trapped for a little bit. Can't jump into the portal, things like that.
Yeah. Jeff, how do you feel about what I said? Do you believe that that was the case for Billy Napier, or do you believe this weekend is the first time that they've told him he's going to be let go?
No, I think he's already been told. But I think it's hard to fire somebody after a win. It really is hard.
Yeah.
Because if he beats Mississippi State this weekend, you know, you don't want to look like the bad person in that situation.
Well, I just want to say insiders like Josh Pate, you know, he's huge online. He's came out and said that he has spoke with Florida and everything, and it's happening. There's other insiders online that have said the same thing, that this weekend is the weekend, win or lose. So all we got to do is wait until Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, and we'll see if it's true. But I believe it's fully true, especially with Josh Pate saying it. So.
Yeah, that's, I think it's a done deal. Yeah. I mean, I know that you can only hold it for so long. You can only let this facade keep happening week in, week out. I mean, Billy's played the part. He's tried to go and speak to the media. He's tried to, but I mean, at the end of the day, and DJ's the same way. DJ has to know, I mean, because they're cowering around or hovering around these kids, trying to make sure that they're not going to go, because you do have some very, very, very good talent. And when you've got a talent like Dallas Wilson, I mean, when I watched him play, I'm telling you, he's as good as Jeremiah Smith was last year to me. He just isn't on that good, you know, the team, right? You know, being able to throw him the football, because he, you know, Lagway has
the best wide receivers coach in the nation there, pretty much. So
yeah, so I mean, when you look at this team, team, there's a lot of pieces that I'm sure Lane Kiffin's going to want there, because I'm all in on Lane. I believe Lane's going there. I believe Ole Miss is as good as they can be. And you watch what I'm telling you. If Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss Rebels lose to Georgia this weekend in Athens, which I have picked them to do, I'm just curious to see what is going to change about Lane going forward. Now, do I think that they're going to jump, that he'll jump ship? No, I don't. I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to finish out the year. I think Florida's going to interim the coach, and then the next thing you know, you'll see is Lane Kiffin will leave. Ole Miss is probably going to try to work out some kind of extension, but I don't believe Ole Miss is a top 20 job anyway. I just think they've gotten lucky with some of the things, and Lane's hit it at the right time with the NIL, being able to play some really good players. And you know what? They struck it rich by going to the D2 movement and grabbing Trinidad Chambliss. Every time you go to the D2 movement, it doesn't always work out this way, and it's just been a perfect storm for that kid. Do you agree with that, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the Trinidad Chambliss. It was a gamble, and it paid off, and he looks better than Simmons, to be honest with you.
Here's something I do need to say that you were right about and I was wrong about. The DJ Lagway being injured, you kept saying it all year, like, it just don't look right. It looks different. This is another way, Billy's fired and checking out. He finally has admitted that DJ is hurt and has been playing hurt, that they're limited in the run, because you mentioned that you really can't run. If you look back at last year, he was a true dual threat quarterback. This year, he's not standing tall at all in the pocket. When he gets off balance, he just wants to throw off the back foot or just chunk it any way he can. He's not moving right. He's injured. So the boot's been coming and going. So it's just something else, that I wanted to mention there, that, Billy has finally admitted that in his last press conference on Monday that DJ's hurt and he can't really run certain plays because of that.
Yeah, so, there you go, Jeff. You think he's probably trying to save face, because the thing about it is, guys, that when you listen and when you look at Billy Napier is not a bad football coach. He is a good football coach. He is smart. He knows what he's doing. He definitely can recruit. He knows how to assemble a good team. It's just the fact that it takes a special type of person to be able to run a top 10 program. Jeffrey, that was for you. But when you look at Billy Napier, he's going to find another job. Now, is it going to be in the SEC? I highly doubt it. Could it be in the ACC? Yeah, I think so. Could it be in one of these other small markets as well? Yeah, he could probably do that too, because he's going to have plenty of money and he still is young and loves to coach football. But one of the guys on here wrote that Jimbo was fired after beating Mississippi State. So there you go. What do you think about that, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I forgot about that. That is true, though.
Yeah, that is true. But the writing was on the wall for some time before that. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about Napier becoming a coordinator underneath Belichick at North Carolina?
I don't know. I guess maybe he could do that as far as
his ego's just too big, man.
I don't know.
That's why I wouldn't hire an offensive coordinator.
I think he would do it. I think he would do that. That's not a bad idea. I think that that could be a possibility. Kind of his segue. That, like, if by chance Belichick lasts for another 2 years and they do something special over there, not win the ACC, but start winning some football games, and then eventually Billy Napier take over at UNC, I could see that going on, because you know what? Dabo's not going to always be there. Cristobal's not going to always be there. And, you got to think, too, and Christopher Multiconti, I hope you don't get mad at me right now, but, Miami has struck it rich with the last 2 years of doing a quarterback. And Florida State tried to do that with DJ Ungalale and Tommy Castellanos, and it hasn't worked the same way. So one day Cristobal is going to have him a quarterback that might not be as productive as these guys, and he'll find himself in the same situation, maybe not in the downfall that Norvell has found, but there's a possibility that could happen. So, Jeffrey, that's a pretty good question. I think that's a possibility. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a possibility, so... I also think that this would be funny, and I know it's not going to happen, but, Mike Norvell's not going to be in Florida State forever. He's got that big contract. But I say send Billy Napier to Mike Norvell's team, FSU.
Oh, man. You're talking about making some people get riled up. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, but you do realize that Cristobal and Napier are familiar because they were on the Alabama Crimson Tide staff as well. So it wouldn't be surprising if Napier was to go and take a shot down there with Cristobal as well. Jeffrey, what do you think about that one?
I don't think Napier is ever going to Florida State, ever.
No, what about him going to Miami?
Oh, Miami? That's a possibility because of the past, and the fact that, like you were saying, they're both at Alabama at the same time. We don't know how kind of working relationship they have together. Yeah,
that's a big question mark.
Maybe Arkansas is where Billy Napier goes.
I don't know.
No.
I think Petrino's got that locked up. I think they're going to give it. I think they're going to give him at least a couple of years to see what he can do. Because,
did he already get it and he got hired?
Well, he's just the interim right now. But I think when you look at the way Arkansas is set up, Arkansas is kind of everybody's stepbrother, in that area. Oklahoma's stepbrother, Texas's stepbrother, A&M's stepbrother. They get the leftovers. And I think if Bobby Petrino can upset some people and beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, I think he'll keep that job there. And as long as he stays off motorcycles, he'll be all right.
Yeah, Billy's had his feel of the SEC anyway, so.
Yeah.
How long do you think Deion Sanders will be entertained at just being at Colorado? Because I think he'll get bored at some point and just quit.
Yeah. I think Deion is probably, especially with this health deal, I think with Deion, I think he's going to probably be done with coaching after Colorado. I don't see him going somewhere else. I think the show has kind of walked itself right out the door with him being a coach. I don't see him loving it. I can see him going to the analyst position and do some stuff, do some work for ESPN, that kind of thing, and kind of ride into the sunset.
Yeah. So Matt Rule's not going anywhere?
I think Matt Rule's still going to Penn State. What do you think, Chris?
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's possible, yeah.
I think that they've tried to grab Freeman. I don't think Freeman's going there. I don't think Freeman's going anywhere, actually. I think Freeman's staying put. Why would you go anywhere else? I mean, when you look at Freeman, he's got the easiest path to the playoff every single year out of everybody that has a job, especially the guys in the SEC. That's the easiest job. That's a great job. They pay you good. They stand behind you as long as you're winning. I mean, he was one game away from winning it all, and I mean, they would put him in the aura of Notre Dame coaches if he had won that national title last year.
Absolutely.
So I don't think he goes. I think Rule goes to Penn State, but I'm not sure. Again, let's throw this out there for one last time. We got about 2 minutes left before we go to the end of the show. But what about Dan Mullen? If Lane Kiffin somehow, some way stays at Ole Miss, which I don't think he will do, will Dan Mullen be even entertained as being a coach to go to Florida?
Gator fans would love it. I've got so many Gator fans that are like, he was so prematurely fired. So, I mean, I personally would even enjoy it. I just don't know how, everything, it went pretty bad at the end, so I don't know how that would play out. And I do keep hearing his name coming up, even though he just had a press conference with UNLV saying that he wasn't going anywhere. They keep pushing him towards Penn State. So,
yeah, I don't think he goes to Penn State. I mean, obviously, that's where Urban Meyer thinks he should go. But either way, Jeffrey, be careful in Lexington. Have fun at the game. Chris, as always, man, thank you. We'll see you next Friday.
Sounds great.
Everybody, we are done. This is a great show, and we got a big time football weekend. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Have a great weekend. Louisville and Miami right now.
Wow.